Hey everybody, I hope you're doing well. Listen, who needs who? Do we need each other? Listen to what this man has to say. It is a man saying it on the screen here. Why women in midlife don't need romantic relationships the same way men do. Hmm, let's check it out.
As in marriage offended a lot of men. But there's actually science behind why women in midlife and postmenopause don't need romantic relationships in the same way that men do. And I'm going to tell you about it. But first, listen to what he says. A woman in her 30s who doesn't have romantic love, it's like the greatest tragedy ever. Poor Lisa never found romantic love, and now she's in her 40s and she has cats. What a tragedy. Guess what? Lisa's just fine. All of the research shows the following: men need and benefit from relationships much more than women. Widows are happier after their husband dies. True.
Wow.
This is true. If a man hasn't cohabitated with a woman or been married by the time he's 30, there's a 1 in 3 chance he'll be a substance abuser. When women don't have a romantic relationship, oftentimes pour a lot of that energy back into their friend network and their professional lives. When men don't have a relationship, they pour a lot of that energy back into online content, nationalism, misogyny, anti-immigration. They start blaming other people for their problems.
Oh, really now? Huh. So what do the men do when they don't have a relationship?
A lot of that energy back into online content, nationalism, misogyny, anti-immigration. They start blaming other people for their problem.
And you know who they blame a whole lot for their problem? Women. When I saw this, it made me think about the lady, which it isn't funny. I know I have a weird sense of humor, but I uploaded a video on it. It's been almost a year where the husband had received like a, oh my gosh, like he was in a hospital and he was in bad health, obviously. And so they'd made a pact that if he got really bad news, like he wasn't going to make it, that they were both going to take this pill. She would give it to him first, and then she would take it, and they would both go together. So he obviously got the bad news that he wasn't, gonna be surviving, and she gave him the pill. But then when it was Meemaw's time to take it, she had a second thought, and she didn't take the pill. She didn't take it. And see, that told me right then and there that man is so selfish. That man is so selfish because you're in bad health. What? Why would you want to end her life too? Because you're in bad health. Let me guess. Maybe she has to go along with you to the next class so she can do what? Take care of you. I don't know, cook, clean, make sure you're okay. I'm like, that is a selfish man to even suggest such. Most that's worth a darn, that's decent, will want the wife to carry on and say, okay, you got this, you got that. Financially, you're going to be okay. That's what any decent man worth anything would say. But no, 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 no. He's in bad health. We're going to both take this. So Meemaw gave him that medicine and he went on to transition. And I knew then, I said, wow, she's probably thinking one thing. Given her age, probably married young, raised kids. And when that man said this about the widows, it wouldn't surprise me because she probably thought this is my last time to have a hot girl summer, a hot girl geriatric summer. No, she probably thought this is my last time to see about me, to go home to the house and do what I want to do, cook for one, what I want, and I have to always play caretaker. That's the first thing that hit my mind. Not She probably thought this is my last chance to be happy and not play servant. And if you notice, women can accomplish a lot. That's why a lot of women are accomplished because they are single, they haven't yet gotten married, or a boyfriend bring them down, children. What happens? Oh, they can further their education in a less stressful manner, have their friends to support them, start that business. Notice a lot of women will leave relationships Oh, leave relationships, and you're like, well, what's going on? This is not the end all be all. No, it's her new beginning. It is her new beginning. Leave relationships. Next thing you know, she's going to school, starting her business, losing her weight. She's exercising, living her best life, traveling, can come home to peace. Who needs who? If you can find somebody that's compatible with the same thing, don't take on a pain, don't take on a problem. Peace, it's invaluable. Can't put a price on it. We're talking about a conversation, having a conversation rather, and I said, the person's like, well, why is that? And why is that? And I said, you really don't get it. I said, there's no peace into my, someone was saying about this lady, she's starting to, they're having problems in the marriage, so she's starting to stay away from the house, you know, um, working late when she doesn't have to, and running errands, and she's just kind of doing a me thing. And I knew that was gonna cause a problem. Time you rushing home, it's about him and some dinner, what he wants. So they're kind of having a little issue. And it's like, girl, you can do things that make you happy. On the weekends, she's not gonna be sitting at home when they got major problems going on, just moping. She's up. Hey, besides shopping, going to the museum, and her ex, I'm like, walk and get, that can be good for you, getting you exercise, or just taking a walk in your neighborhood or wherever you want to go. There's so much to do. Oh, you doing art classes? Okay. I'm like, you can learn a different language. Wish I had time. You want to do a cooking class? Do that too. Cakes, what have you, desserts. So what's happening? She's doing a whole lot of stuff. She's doing stuff on her own. And you know what? She's finding peace. So someone said, I don't understand why she's always staying gone. And I said, oh, I get it. I said that house, I don't care how beautiful it may be, there's no peace there. I think she's doing the right thing. If y'all gonna have to get into it like every day, day in, day out, and every day, and see, I can see the handwriting on the wall. She's saying more about herself. She's getting into it with herself. That's why she's gone a lot. She's not just sitting up here shopping all the time. She's enriching herself. She's like planning things. And I told hey, do what's best for you. So even though they're in that marriage and people go through things, I can already tell you right now how she's moving, and she's got her own money. I can already tell you right now, have a pretty good idea that if something happens and they decide to live apart or get a divorce or something, she's going to be all right. Why? She's doing things even by herself that she enjoys. Even by herself that she enjoys. So why is she staying gone? Why is she always staying gone? There's no peace in that home. And it's priceless. So hopefully they'll work things out. If not, she's going to be okay. You make your own income. You've got your own interests. You have friends. You want to do a trip? I'm there. We're here. I'm there. We're here. Coordinate who's doing what. He's sitting up there wondering, why is she's staying gone. Yeah, I think she might be, as they say, building a life without you because, people talk. And this domineering relationship that they had, it may have worked in the past, it's not working today. So already, what is she doing? They're still married, live in the same home, kids gone. She's already starting her new chapter. She would not be sitting up with a bunch of cats. You wonder why. I think this is why some women, they'll get married or a husband, passes on. And what happens? She won't get married again. Why? She wants this part to be all about her. Because it's been a give and a give. And let me guess, he takes and he takes. Some people, it may work the opposite. But I thought about meanwhile, the fact that he was sick, you're going to tell her that, they're going to both take this pill and go together. How selfish. That explained to me, made me think that's why she didn't take that pill, because she knew, my goodness, this is the latter end of her life. She can maybe go home in peace. Go home in peace.
Guess what? Lisa's just fine. All of the research shows the following: men need and benefit from relationships much more than women.
And that I believe. Hold on. That I totally believe. I've done stories in the past on here uploaded. Have you noticed a lot of men, especially in my community, in their 50s, dropping on a live? What happened? Oh, his health. How are you 52, 55, 56? What? Dropping. And you know what? Most of the ones who are like rappers and entertainers, they were single. They didn't have a wife, they want to say nagging. They didn't have a wife to see about them, see about their health, reminders, encourage them. The one down the pole, I want to be up in that strip club, dog. All that kind of nonsense. They just like fast living, tricking, Didn't have a spouse to give a darn about them. See, they gonna come off that pole till you go to that doctor. Get your checkup. You know what I mean? I don't want no one like that, man. Then look up her croaking. How the hell are you in bad health at 52? What's up with you? Then watch some men that are older, still living around old. They got a woman somewhere, a wife. Some female is seeing about them. Some nurturing woman. Then you have their children and you raise their legacy. His legacy still lives on. And then no matter what, whether he was there or was gone, guess what? The kid grows up. Oh yeah, that's my daughter. That's my son. In most cases, women do all the work. That's why I said, call whatever you. I understand it takes two incomes, but there's no way in the world you want to catch me slipping, talking about get married. I'm gonna have some children, and I'm gonna work a full-time job, and we're doing 50-50. Honey, you can take that contract and you can place it where the sun does not shine. Because guess what? The girl over here, I'm not going for it. I never did, never will. I wasn't going for that. Oh no. I just wouldn't. Not that I was told that, but it's like if it was me, there's no way. Going to work a full-time job, 50-50. And you a mom too? You pretty much, besides sleep, you on 24/7. You are on call 24/7. Whether that man gets sick, or the kids get sick, you are on call 24/7. There was a friend of mine called me, and she said, "Hey, you know so and so?" And I'm like, no, I don't. He was like, well, you met him at this convention that we have, and you meet people. I don't really remember. The guy didn't stick out to me. So guess what happened? On the job, and she had a job that traveled a lot. Okay, they traveled a lot. How about they were out of town on business, and he became sick. I'm talking about like hospital sick. They called the wife. Oh, and he was known to be Mr. Get Around. Oh, he had the women. When he was traveling, honey, he might bring a girlfriend with him. Oh, yes. Really now? So, yeah. So he was on the job, and I don't know what happened to him. I think it happened outside of work, and something occurred. They found the guy at the hotel. Okay? So whatever happened off the job. When he didn't show up, they checked on him at the hotel, and then it went from like the hotel to the hospital, and it was bad. And when it all went down, they said, you're going to have to go home because you can't work right now. So I forget what she was saying. It was some kind of major issue, and he was going to have to go home And on top of that, he was he wasn't going to be able to work. And they were saying that he was really going to try to coordinate some kind of physical health thing. So he had like a major issue, and he was needing to go home and then see his doctor and do therapy and all kind of stuff. So it was like pretty major. It was like, oh my gosh, the way she was talking, it was like, man, is he gonna be able to, get back together? It was major. I don't know if he had like a stroke, because I remember something about air. Was it oxygen to your brain or some kind of stuff? But it was a whole big deal. Okay. So the wife, she's at home. She was a housewife. She did not work. My friend, people called on a job. Even my friend called the wife. And she said, do you know I have been calling that woman all day? And she's like, leaving messages. And she said, she wouldn't pick up the phone, even sending text messages. It's about your husband. As he was in the hospital, they were saying for her to come. Do you know how long it took her to come and get him? Again, she's a housewife. She got those text messages and she got those phone calls. They had said the hospital had called, the job had called, the HR department, and my friend personally had called. Y'all, guess what? When the wife came, she finally called back and they were like, you need to get here. It's really urgent. She doesn't work on a public job. They have a very nice middle class lifestyle, very, very comfortable. Guess what happened? It took her 2 weeks to show up. I knew then, being that he was the Romeo when he was on the road, I knew then. She said it took 2 whole weeks for her to come and get her husband. Why? While he was on the road playing, excuse me, while he's on the road playing, just think, she had the house to herself. And they had a daughter. So she and the daughter, who was in her 20s, they came up. She said, but it took 2 whole weeks for her to get there. There wasn't a problem with the flights at that time. You definitely, there wasn't, he made very good money. 2 whole weeks to come and get her husband. I know then she didn't want to get him. She probably thought, oh man, and he's going to need some serious care too. What you want to bet? I bet his wife probably prolonged his life. His wife, I'm going to bet you, prolonged his life. But why would it take her 2 weeks to come and get her husband? That right there speaks volumes. 2 weeks?
All of the research shows the following: men need and benefit from relationships much more than women. Widows are happier after their husband dies. True.
Because now it's not all about him, seeing about him and what he wants and doctor's appointments. And you got to take care of yourself and take care of him. The widow, she might be relieved. Old girl might be getting a break. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It's like a widow, and it's sad to think. And that is kind of a little funny, a little chuckle. But then you think about it. You think about it. If a widower, if a widow is happier or more at peace when her husband is gone, wow, happier, did you say?
Than women. Widows are happier after their husband dies.
He said the studies support this. Widows are happier after the husbands have died. Again, meanwhile, and the man, her husband, if he gets bad news, they're gonna both take this pill because she's going to. And she gave him the pill, but she went home. It's like, nah. Maybe it's kind of see what it's like to take care of her for a while. Talk about jealousy. People get jealous of different things. Oh, they're just jealous because I'm married and you're not. And that could be true. But let's also be honest. There are also some married women that are jealous of single women. Child, some of them regret the day they said I do. That also is very true. But that speaks volumes of studies. A widow is happier after the husband's passed. Wow.
True. This is true. If a man hasn't cohabitated with a woman or been married by the time he's 30, there's a 1 in 3 chance he'll be a substance abuser. When women don't have a romantic relationship, oftentimes pour a lot of that energy back into their friend network and their professional lives. When men don't have a relationship,
Watch out.
they pour a lot of that energy back into online content, nationalism, misogyny, anti-immigration. They start blaming other people for their problem.
And you know who they love to blame? They love to blame women. Love to blame women. Anyway, let me know, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about this? That to me, that's really sad. That is really sad to think that a widow is happier. I mean, maybe I should laugh again. I have a sense of humor, but a widow is happier when he passes on. What's that all about? Peace. She might be thinking I get to finally do me. Anyway, who needs who? Mm, who needs who? Interesting. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share them out.